Alright guys, so today is the big reveal of the new project car, so let's go check it out.
I don't want to live this way. I really wish we never knew. Out of sight and out of mind, I don't want to be with you. But the next time I saw your face, nothing I can do. I just have to face the truth. All I want is to be with you.
So as you guys have just seen, this is my brand new 1990 Nissan 300ZX Twin Turbo. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go over what I want to do with the car and what still needs to be done with the car to bring it up to spec. So let's go ahead and get over that right now. Okay, so the car already has quite a bit done to it. It already has full Powertrix suspension with Swift springs, and it has two big Garrett GT 2560R turbos, as well as big aftermarket intercoolers, 555cc fuel injectors, and just a couple other miscellaneous things here and there. But the car is on a stock tune, so one of the first things we have to do to it is get an aftermarket tune on it. I'm either going to go with a NIS tune or possibly Jim Wolf ECU. I need to work out everything, but leaning towards those two. So let's move in here a little bit closer on the engine bay and go over a couple of things that's underneath the hood. So as you guys can see, all the silicone hosing have been redone. These are all fresh hoses. Thank you, Trolley. You can see the adjustments here for the coilovers. One thing we definitely need to do is get a new fuse box cover, because that's kind of cracked up. And I do need to get a new bolt to run through that fuel filter back there to hold it tight. As well as you guys can see right here that the nose panel does have a scratch on it. But we're gonna wrap this car, so that's not too important. The motor is running really healthy. It's actually pretty fresh, not that many miles on it. And I know what you guys are thinking. This motor is very, very difficult to work on. It's not difficult, it's just really time consuming because of how much you have to remove to be able to work on it. But that's half the fun, it's half the battle. So one of the things we're going to do also is we're going to replace the front bumper here. This bottom lip is broken here and cracked underneath the license plate over there. Unfortunately, to repair the bumper is going to be more expensive than to just replace the bumper anyway. And we're going to wrap the car. And just to let you guys know, we're going to wrap this car like a dark royal blue. That's the plan with a carbon fiber hood. That's where I see this car going as far as the color. But that could change. You never know how you feel. It's a wrap. You can just take it off and rewrap it. So another thing this car was missing is the trim that runs right here. And luckily, just today, I found a guy who's going to sell me this piece of trim for 10 bucks. So I'm stoked about that. I'm going to go pick it up sometime, hopefully later this week. And then one thing I do want to do is I do want to sand all the trim down along the top and that side and repaint it because it is aging. The chrome is starting to show, so we just need to do a refresh of that. So the car has AMS downpipes straight to Labrie catback exhaust with a couple resonators in there, but it, for the most part, is straight pipe. And one thing that the car actually did have when I bought it was it had a huge leak in the HICA system. Now that is the system for the rear wheel steering, and because the leak was actually so substantial, we actually just ended up installing a delete kit which came with the car. I saved the HICA system to, just in case I do end up fixing the leak or want it back, I can reinstall it no problem. But for now, we just did the delete kit, which is also nice because it makes the car more predictable. You don't all of a sudden have the rear wheels deciding to steer on you when you might be sending it pretty hard. So we'll stick with the delete kit for right now, but that could change in the future. So this car has Tracer on it from Overwatch. It's a pretty funny sticker. I get it because the color of the car matches Tracer's pants in the video game, so it works. But personally, my favorite character is Reinhardt, so I might have to give it Reinhardt here instead later on. But you know, that's minor detail. So one thing I'm actually stoked this car came with is it actually has two 10-inch JL Audio subwoofers, as well as this massive JL Audio amplifier. It's actually ran really clean for what I've seen, so you guys can take a look at that right here, and it sounds actually really good. And as you can see, the interior in the back here is really nice. The floor mats are still relatively new. The car even came with the bags for the T-tops to keep them safe, so that's always just perks on top of the car. Okay, so now the next thing we're going to talk about is the interior of the car. When you look here, the door panels, the dashboard, the floorboard, the original 300ZX floor mats are all in amazing condition. Down part of the interior is just the synthetic leather that are on the seats. It's on the shift boot, the handbrake boot, and on the center console padding. Besides that, the interior of this car is immaculate, especially for being a 28-year-old car. It's very impressive. So to replace the synthetic leather on the shift boot, the e-brake boot, and the center console is actually very easy. It actually comes in a kit, which everything is already pre-cut, pre-fabbed out, for about $50 online. So that's actually pretty cheap. Now for the seats, they do have reupholstering kits that are pre-cut as well. They run for about between $200 or $300 depending on the color scheme that you want. That's one option I'm looking at. But another thing is, I sit a little high in this car because I'm very tall. So with these electric seats, they actually kick you up a couple inches versus manual seats. So what I'm actually planning on doing is finding either manual seats for this car, or possibly getting Honda S2000 seats, which I've heard are actually very, very good swaps into these, and they drop you about 3 or 4 inches. And so that would make me sit optimally, as well as Honda S2000 seats are actually very comfortable. So that wouldn't be a bad switch. And also, on the inside of this car, all the electronics work. All the turn signals, the boost gauge works, the climate control works, air conditioning works, heater works, all the lights work. The only thing that does not work is one bulb, which is the passenger dome light. That's the only bulb that doesn't work, and that's the only bulb in the car that is not an LED light. So one thing I did when I immediately got the car was get an alignment done. The rear camber in the back was absolutely terrible, and because of that, the rear tires tread wear really prematurely, especially on the inside, as well as these tires have actually been on the car for a while, and there's a lot of dry rot. So I do have new tires coming, as well as these wheels here, these Sport Max racing wheels. Not too sure, about their quality. They look good, but the quality, I'm gonna have to do some research on. But you can also see that they also installed aftermarket brake rotors, which are drilled and slotted. So the person who modded the car definitely had a goal in mind. So we'll live in their spirit.
I like that. What do you think of that weed smell that's just floating through the air right now?
California. Okay, so my goals with the car is, honestly, I want to make it look absolutely beautiful. This car has been one of my dream cars since forever, and there's only one car ranks above it, which is an FD RX-7, but this is number 2 on my list. I was kind of looking for a slidey, drifty project car, but when I found this, I just couldn't skip over it. So I think I'm gonna make this just as clean and as beautiful as possible for, just cruising around the beach, going to car shows in. So that's what I kind of want to go over with this car. So another thing that's wrong with this car is it does actually have a little bit of faulty starter. The Bendix in the starter itself is not working properly. So about 1 out of 3 times when you go to turn the key, you will get that infamous starter zing noise, but then if you just turn it again, it normally will turn over. So, you know, small issue, but something that will be addressed and will be replaced in a future video. So I hope you guys like this car as much as I do. This is gonna be a really fun project just to bring it back up to looking fresh. I would like to paint it on down the road, but you know, I don't have the money to pay for everything. So wrapping is where it's gonna be, but I'm really excited. I still can't believe I actually own this car. It's been a goal of mine for a very long time. I'd like to thank Jordan, the previous owner who I bought it off of, who is actually watching the channel and is probably watching this video along with you guys, and to see how his car turns out. Hopefully he'll make an appearance in future videos. I'm staying in contact with him. Next video, hopefully, we'll get some people's reactions. Maybe TJ Hunts, maybe the Throttle teams. So, who knows? But I'm very excited to own this car. So, until the next video.